We are now ready for some true inspiration through a panel moderated by Summiit Sharma. We are going to hear and share some really good inspiration for all the younger colleagues and future colleagues out there. When we start out our professional journey, it is extremely important that our peers and seniors actively encourage and support us. And then, as we rise and develop, we continue paying it forward. The IMO is supporting the LEAP program for women in maritime, one great example of paying it forward, supporting and mobilizing the pipeline of female profiles and future leaders. And now we will hear from two of the women from the first batch sharing their story on how they took the leap. Aruni Wijepala, Zahra Lawati, and moderated by our dearest Summiit Sharma. So welcome on stage.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this panel. Uncertainty is the new reality. Disruption is now a norm, not an exception. Careers are no longer linear, and change is a constant. This is the ideology and thought process behind the conception of the Maritime SheEO LEAP program, the Leadership Accelerator program. This program, supported by the IMO, is designed towards strategic thinking, thought leadership, digital transformation, and most importantly, being a SheEO. So what does being a SheEO actually mean? To me, I think it means walking the talk, leading by example, building your own personal brand, and changing paradigms, truly leading by example. It makes me really proud today to speak to these lovely ladies who were a part of the first batch of the LEAP program, and I'm happy to introduce them, and let's hear from them today on their journey, on what LEAP created for them, what were their takeaways, and what was their experience with this program. So I'll just introduce them first. We have Aruni Wijepala, who is the Deputy General Manager of Hayleys Energy Services Lanka Private Limited. It's an oil and gas services company. It's involved in marine offshore energy markets. She has an outstanding reputation for her work as a female leader. She's been able to carry out marine and offshore work onboard vessels, lead large diverse teams, and handle complex integrated logistics projects in predominantly a male-dominated industry. She is a member of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers, ICS UK, and she has completed and won the RMAC award given to the student with the highest marks subject to sport agency in the ICS exams held in July 2020. So welcome, Aruni. Thank you for being here. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. Our next panelist is Zahra Lawati. She's the Group Chief Audit Executive of ASYAD, Oman's global integrated logistics service provider. With over 12 years in risk governance, advisory, and audit services, Zahra is an established professional in her field. She is also a member of the exclusive Harvard Business School Alumni Network, a certified fraud examiners, and a certified risk management assurance expert from the Global Institute of Internal Auditors, IIA. So welcome, Zahra, and welcome once again to both of you. My first question is to you, Zahra. So you come from this very niche field of risk, audit, advisory, and it's a very specialized domain. I would like to know what drew you to the LEAP program and how did it help you as a professional in the niche segment that you come from and the focus industry segment such as yours. So what drew you to it and how did this help you in your domain?
Hello, it's working. So thank you very much for inviting me to be a speaker in this prominent event. And of course, it is never enough to thank Sanjam for having us all here and doing this marvelous job for the industry. We're all very humbled by it, all very inspired as well. And coming back to your question, what did draw me to LEAP? Being the chief audit for a group company, so ASYAD is a holding company in Oman, and it has over 15 companies under it between joint ventures and subsidiaries. And being a centralized audit unit, we are overseeing over 8 companies ranging between shipping, dry dock, ports, free zone, CEP, public services. For me, personally, it has been always a wish to be closer to the maritime family, to the international maritime family, not only because it is very exciting, like we see here, and very rewarding as well, but also to have a direct feel and direct touch of what is it like to be part of this bigger family. What are the challenges? What are the opportunities? What can I add value and bring something different to Oman, to the industry within my country? Given that we have a shipping company, we do have 15.6% of our cadets are females. And again, we are all globally facing the same global challenges. So for me, LEAP was the opportunity, the gateway to look into it closely. I always also wanted to see what are the future movements in the industry. And did LEAP give all of this? Definitely, certainly, and way more. A key rewarding part for me was sitting in these virtual meetings within LEAP program and the workshops, and being in the same window with people from 20 plus different countries. And that on its own, sharing the experiences, seeing how we female do strive regardless where we are from, whether Europe, America, Middle East, Africa, it's the same challenge. We do have our limitations, but we also do have our huge opportunities and will to change the world. And hence where we are sitting here today, this is one key example to that.
Thank you so much, Zahra. That's so well put. And I'm sure a lot of young women who are future aspirants of the LEAP program will draw inspiration from this. And as you very beautifully put it, that all of us are facing the same global challenges, and to know that we are not alone, and there are so many like forces of nature out there overcoming these challenges is really heartening. Thank you, Zahra. So Aruni, the next one is for you. So you're in the oil and gas sector in a leadership position. We all know the demands and challenges and complexities which come with such kind of a role. How did the LEAP program help you specifically meet the needs of your core job? And has there been any new perspective on leadership which you have gained, which helps you navigate your role differently from what you used to do?
Thank you, Summiit, for the question. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. First, I must thank Maritime SheEO for having me here today in beautiful Mumbai. And congratulations to Sanjam and her team for putting up this magnificent conference. It's not easy organizing events of this nature. And also, I'm very happy to meet my LEAP colleagues in person here today, although we are missing part of it, and I'm sure they are watching us online. Jacqueline and Zahra, who is here, we've been in many group sessions together. We've shared our thoughts with each other. And so moving on to your question, Summiit, like you correctly mentioned, oil and gas is indeed demanding and a dynamic industry. And we need to expect constant change when we are working in this. And myself, as a female, leading an operations team, if there's not a single day that passed by without a challenge, a new challenge. So my team members, I should ensure that they align with the same and that they also face the challenges. So this is where learnings from the LEAP program comes in, especially the situational leadership, which we discussed over many examples and group coaching sessions. So I always take the advice and what we discussed on the session in applying those management skills to each different unique situation. And so we discussed during the program about identifying skills and competencies of your team members, which is, I think, very important. When you're leading a role, and especially in operations, you need to know what skills and competencies your team members hold. And we discussed this in LEAP. And so therefore, by identifying this, that I'm able to empower them, so they have the independence to take independent decisions and work on their own, and to mentor them whenever it's necessary, and to direct them, and also to encourage them. And like Zahra mentioned, we had females from Asia, Africa, where you name it. We had about 30 from 30 different countries. And yes, we are working in a male-dominant industry, and the challenges that we females face are common to everyone. We all had a story to talk about, and this is something we discussed at the very beginning of the course. And I felt, okay, I'm not alone. There are many females just like me who has a story, who has been facing the challenges in the industry. And this is how LEAP has helped me. Summiit, over to you.
Thank you. That's wonderful, Aruni. And I like what you said about situational leadership. You know, the real life scenarios, the true case examples from the industry, because this program is not curated as a theoretical program and just theoretical learning, which is beautiful, and that's a beautiful thought process by Sanjam, that you get to learn from on the job, from true day-to-day scenarios. And the fact that you're using the learnings from the LEAP program to empower your team is wonderful. So just before we conclude, a question for you both. We would start with Zahra. So Zahra, what message would you like to give to the women who are future aspirants of the LEAP program? What should they look forward to? What were your key takeaways? And what is it that you feel they can get from this program?
Just to add to what Aruni has said, the LEAP program, and that was also my concluding remark in the final session, it is a very, very well thought of program. It does directly target the issues that women are facing in the industry, whether maritime or the bigger logistics umbrella. And the situational leadership actually helped me. And as an example, I was going not through the best times in my career at that time. And through one of the modules, I learned how to be effective in communication, because as women, and we always talk about diversity, but sometimes our male colleagues maybe don't understand or don't know what we're going through. So communication was key, and I took it up to the higher level, and I treated the matter in a different way, and then the results came in a few weeks' time. And I immediately spoke to Sanjam and told her, this is a live example what LEAP has given me. And then across the weeks later and months, we have seen many other women from the first batch, and we have a WhatsApp group. They were sharing similar successes, and Jacqueline is one of them as well. So yes, we did learn, and my message to whoever is aspiring for LEAP, one, it is from an academic, educational aspect of it, that you will learn a lot. You will be able to directly, immediately apply it on your, on any situation you're going through, but also being in such a diverse forum, room, you know, whether virtual or physical, that's on its own for me was extremely rewarding. And I don't think I have been or I will ever be in such universal global you know, program ever again. And Maritime SheEO LEAP was that. Do it and try to utilize the knowledge, because it is always both sides. It's not only giving, it's also giving, and how the recipient can take it as well. So learn from it, and again, it is immensely thought of program, and every module did address the issues that we were going through. So,
wow, success stories truly define, you know, the impact of a program. So thank you for sharing that, Zahra. Aruni, same question for you.
Yes, Summiit. Yeah, so we are working in a dynamic world, and things are changing. We are working in a VUCA world. So we need to be current with our knowledge. I think LEAP is the best platform for blossoming females in the industry. During the program, we've been taken through situational leadership, strategic acumen, and most importantly, the first learnings we had was on digital transformation, which I think we are talking about now and which is very important. And also about building your personality. We even learned about, preparing a small video clip, from that very basic to the higher extent. So I think this is one of the best platforms, and I hope Sanjam, Maritime SheEO, IMO, going forward will provide more opportunities to the females in the industry to take the leap.
Thank you, wonderful. So with this, we conclude the session, and I'd like to congratulate Maritime SheEO Sanjam for conceiving this wonderful program. And I'm sure the team will get this message of these two lovely ladies across to future aspirants of the program. Thank you so much for listening.